On this channel, we are no stranger, I should say, to certain right-wing ghouls and grifters, one of which being Steven Crowder, who I'm sure no one is a stranger to if you've spent any amount of time online. Steven Crowder is historically understood as just a vile fucking human being in general. Just is just openly racist in a very minstrel-esque way, very transphobic, homophobic. Did a whole bit where he cross-dressed and went to the gym to try and get a reaction, but the homie literally just ate. You know, like, he just looked good and people were fine with it. He was just generally kind of being annoying. But even then, the people were asking him to fuck off. I think because he was a terrible human being, all right? We don't need to get too lost in the weeds on this aspect of things. So, with that, with a brief understanding and education, you all have passed Steven Crowder 101 class 101 with me at a Commie Bravo University. With an understanding of this, you all did very well. I'm so proud of you. We also need to understand that right-wing figures online have no shortage of access to money. It is very easy to be picked up by right-wing outlets to start propagating general propaganda, general right-wing talking points to make the money, you see. I think Chris Raygun had a really good video on this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, God, don't make me go to fucking TikTok, the website. Don't make me look at any TikTok thing. I'm too old. Don't make me do it. Yeah, here we go.
Now, this is the story all about how several years back I got an email from some shady people with a lot of power who said you can make a ton of money towing the conservative party line and we'll make sure that happens for you. And I said, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be beholden to any fucking buddy but me. And I refused that offer, and the years went by, and it's become very fucking clear who the people were who just did not refuse that money. And it's fucking actually wildly obvious, and it's kind of sad.
Incredible. Thank you, Chris Raygun. Oh, God. See, this is why no more TikTok. Society has progressed past the need for TikTok. There is no shortage of grifting that goes hand in hand with your average online conservative pundits. Crowder, tantamountably and chiefly being one of them. Now, recently, a little outlet called the Daily Wire had come to him with an offer. Now, this wasn't initially released. It was a kind of like a corkboard pinning the strings together movement from Crowder's fans based off the initial video that we're about to watch. The Daily Wire had come to him with an offer, and we're going to kind of just follow this together as a team. Are you ready? So beautiful. Tell me, Crowder.
So, StopBigCon.com now exists to begin with.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Let it be known also, okay, before we start this, let them fight, okay? Let them fight amongst each other. But I don't believe a single fucking word this man ever has to say. This dude's a fucking shyster, okay?
It's been a while.
Everyone's
Either
bad.
This has to stop, or I'm going to have to stop. Either this, what I'm about to discuss,
Both.
has to stop.
Both.
Or I don't know.
We both lose.
This may just not be for me anymore. So let me explain. Give me a few minutes of your time because context matters here. I ask that you don't skip ahead. Won't take very long.
Okay,
They avoided, sidestepped, and I've hoped and prayed that it not be necessary behind the scenes for a long while, but that's no longer possible. So if you've watched for the last decade,
okay.
You know that I've always made it clear that we here at Mug Club are in the business of serving you, the viewer, you watching, listening right now. I've also made it clear that I wouldn't be in the business of...
yes. It's you. We're here for you. That's why you subscribe to my my cum mug club, you see. The dog cum mug club. It's all for you.
Of attacking other conservatives.
What was the thing in the... what was the... that sexual abuser's name? And Andrew Callahan in his documentary. It's all about selling T-shirts, all right? That's all that matters. And on the side, sometimes, you sell some left-wing apparel too. It's all about the grift. It's all about making money. That's all that matters. You make people fear their surroundings, and then you sell them a fucking mug, You hook them on you, and then you sell them a mug.
Regardless of disagreements or personal issues, and I've always explained my logic was relatively simple. I believe that the world was better with more voices out there rather than less, regardless of minute differences, considering the magnitude of the battle that we are genuinely fighting for our country right now. But for the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you.
You can always tell when he is saying something that's a little bit duplicitous. What he's saying inherently isn't wrong, but to kind of remove himself from this equation is just a disparate lie. And you can always tell because his voice will kind of do a little shake. When he backed out of that debate with Sam Cedar, he had the same little he kind of reverts into a more pubescent state, if we should say.
The customer, and more importantly, the country. We here at Mug Club, we thought that we were all in this together, that we were fighting the media, entertainment, industrial complex.
Yes, that was the goal, to fight the media industrial complex by doing blackface, you see.
We thought that we were all genuinely taking it to big tech.
Doing very well, my friend.
Too many of those in charge of the big conservative platforms are verifiably in bed with them. Big tech is in bed with Big Con. The people I thought were fighting for you, a lot of it has been.
He's learning. It's
Big Con.
It's baby's
Now,
first.
specifically,
It's baby's first capitalist awakening. He's learning about capitalism. Isn't it so cute? Hey, by all means, hats off, my friend. You're learning.
Avoiding naming names or going after individuals in this video.
Oh, hey,
because I
what's up?
genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are, have a change of heart.
Thank you for joining chat, Richie.
It's never too late to do the right thing. Guys,
You're in good company.
this is a genuine plea. We can all do better. We can all do better. It doesn't have to be this way. And please, don't make me have to provide receipts. Now, to the others out there,
Okay.
who have now been able to verify, have been locked into exploitative contracts that I have the luxury of not are the entire reason for our ability, your ability, to create this kind of content truly independently.
So what's going on right now? It's going to take me a minute to find this in here, I'm very sure. Is the Daily Wire reached out to him with a contract saying, hey, we're going to be giving you this much money over this many years to be a part of us, And if you do that, there are some things you're going to need to tone down a little bit. So with that, with any strikes you get, with any bits of demonetization you get as a result of overt racism, overt transphobia, we're going to have to ping you a little bit. Hey, Amazing Wolf Skeptic, nice to see you.
For the last 6 years. When I started doing, right-leaning, like comedy entertainment videos in 2009,
and he mad about it. He big mad about it. Hey, indeed, welcome. You're in good company. Feel free to stick around.
2008, I really didn't have a plan. I didn't know the blueprint because there was no blueprint. I didn't know the ceiling because no one with this kind of content had ever really even tried it. It was you, Mug Club, you watching, supporting, who created the ceiling. And you made it clear that all of you were going to keep raising it. All I knew back then was that I was a conservative, I was a Christian. There was nothing out there.
How many times has he plugged
for
this
someone like me?
fucking Mug
Not on
Club
cable,
in the past?
not on
What are we
radio,
at,
certainly
5
not
minutes?
on YouTube.
Get to the point.
And back then, that was really the only video platform. Live streaming wasn't really even a thing. All I wanted to do was to set out to create the kind of content, the kind of show that I always wished had existed when I was growing up. And I hope that there were...
Can we skip forward a
Do
little
not
bit?
sign something.
Crowder thinks that the Daily Wire playing by the rules of our system is against everything conservatives stand for. But what Crowder wants is basically communism in this situation. No, exactly. We'll be getting to this in a little bit, his reaction to general labor practices. But as we're going through this, I need you to keep in the back of your mind to not think of Crowder here as a worker suffering under labor abuses. This is the same individual who said, oh, everyone who's complaining about working for minimum wage, you are all so greedy, okay? $7.25 an hour, working at least 50 to 60 hours a week, okay? That's what I want from you. I need you to keep this in the back of your head as we're going through the exact terms of this contract that has angered Crowder to this extent, okay?
That includes, let me go through this.
I don't want to hear a fucking word from Crowder anymore.
Effectively,
about anything
full
related
ownership
to labor.
of all your social media platforms, channels in perpetuity.
Let's see. Okay, merch rights. Blank will maintain the exclusive right to create and sell Crowder and Crowder branded merchandise. All remuneration for the blank and exploitation of these. It's like we're playing Control. Look at this. How cute. We're learning lore. We're learning eldritch horror lore. And the exploitation of these rights is included in the fee. Email list. Blank will maintain the exclusive right to manage, grow, and monetize all Crowder email lists during the term. All remuneration for the exploitation of these rights is included in the fee. Social media management. Blank will have the exclusive. I'm assuming that they're shortening this to DW or something. Anyway, will have the exclusive right to manage, curate, and monetize Crowder's official Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Snapchat, Rumble, and other social media accounts, excluding Crowder's existing personal Twitter and Instagram accounts during the term. Additionally, Blank will have the perpetual and exclusive right to create, own, manage, curate, monetize all social media accounts on any social media or similar platform as determined by Blank on the Crowder content or shows. All remuneration for the exploitation of these rights is included in the fee.
The rights to your content.
This is part of a contract. They generally suck. You're very right, Crowder. It's like there's a exploitation, of labor going on here.
Name,
in general.
image, likeness.
Again, baby's
the ones that you
first.
built.
Baby's first socialist awakening. Hey, we're
sign
very proud.
Contracts out there that include multi-million-dollar penalties for different. Let me read you an example of what I mean.
These fees are for not saying the N-word with a hard R, okay? He's like, you can't give me a little slap on the wrist. I want to be as racist as I want. We're going to be learning how much money exactly Crowder is making here, but again,
was me.
I just need you to
Crowder fails
understand.
to deliver monthly content in any month or any of the quarterly content in the corner, including any and all ad reads. And by the way, all these contracts came with 3, 4, 5 ad reads per show, which would fundamentally change what this show is. Got to get those dollar bills.
Dog, how many times have you plugged your fucking mud club?
It would be a $250,000 reduction.
We don't do ads here.
In fee per quarter.
Let's go to one Crowder
let's
video
say,
and watch.
We did do everything per quarter, but annually, maybe miss something. Like, let's say we went and did a Change My Mind instead of a daily show, which of course requires a lot more work. It'd be a separate $1 million penalty.
Oh, okay. Fee reductions. If Crowder fails for any reason to deliver 192 episodes of The Daily Show, including any and all ad reads and blank promo reads approved and deemed for the satisfactory. Yeah, this is, ad reads are a part of a contract, generally, like, especially bigger contracts like this. From a company that's paying you money, yes, they need to get money themselves, okay? It's shitty. I don't agree with it, but again, this is general content creation contracting, okay? Monthly and quarterly content. If Crowder fails to deliver monthly content in any month or any of the quarterly content in any quarter, including any and all ad reads and blank, okay, promo reads approved and deemed for satisfactory by the company, $250,000 of the fee per instance. Okay. $250,000. If Crowder fails to deliver annual content in any year, including any and all ad reads and blank promo, okay. That's going to be $1 million fine for not having annual content. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they saying annual content in so far as like one video a year? There's no way. There's no way it's only a $1 million fee out of this contract, which we're going to get to. There's no way that they're only taking $1 million out if he just doesn't do anything. Pay attention to all the cuts in audio and the video that Crowder made. He's not giving the full story either. On top of everything, this is a standard contract. I agree, contracts suck sometimes, but $50 million, basically not say slurs. Yeah, okay, hey, spoiler alert, all right? We keep it on the DL. No, you're very right. Contracts do suck. But yes, for 50 mil, are you kidding me? We'll spoiler alert. It's 50 fucking million over 4 years. I believe it was like mathed out to about 12.5 million a year, within those 4 years, we'll be learning more about what that contract entailed with
For that,
the
if you miss
Daily
a
Wire's
single piece of content. And the
response
amount of content
video.
required is not in line with, frankly, it's worse than Disney. It's worse than ABC. It's worse than NBC. It's worse than CBS. This is ownership of you and everything that you do. But here's, just to drive it home, don't sign something that has another
Yeah,
one.
I mean, of course he didn't like the price. Of course he wants more. I believe in the video that we're going to get to. Don't get too lost in the plot. All right, there's a talk of, you know, what Crowder's managers thought would be an appropriate number. What I see this as is Crowder wants to have his own.
That's cool.
Hey, nice to see you. All right. What I see is going on is that Crowder wants to kind of step into like his own like right-wing content creation conglomerate sphere and is trying to get a leg up on the competition immediately. That's my little like inner workings going on. He sees Daily Wire as direct competition to where he wants to build his brand, kind of like the pathways onto something bigger.
$100,000 daily penalty.
Is Commie Bravo a leftist?
If it's not signed
Does
off
a pope shit in the
for him.
woods?
You get hit by a car, you have a sick day, you could lose $100,000 a day. Hey, anyone wonder why there's burnout? And anyone wonder why you have kids come up
Yes, I'm a leftist.
and they leave? They never to come back? You think if you had that kind of a penalty, you think if someone said, hey, we're going to penalize you $10,000 every day you miss coming into work, you think you'd be stressed? This is worse than the left frames their contracts. Again, of course I didn't sign any of these things.
Okay, you have to understand as well, the right has to think that, like, the whole, like, Soros thing, of course, is, like, anti-Semitic dog whistle and everything, but people that operate in these spheres have to see, like, leftist content creators in, like, the same vein, you know? Like, oh, like, if there's people paying me to shill out and toe the conservative party line, then obviously it has to be the same for people on the left. And that is not the case at all, okay? I guarantee you no fucking leftist is being approached by some bigger media organization to, not true leftist, all right? Maybe we can get like a little like Democrat, you know? Maybe they'll be picked up by like CNN or something, maybe. But generally, let's be real, no leftist is being approached and is being given $50 million fucking dollars.
But I now know what other kids are signing out there. And here's the worst part. Yeah, that's terrible. I think it's
weird MAGA communist thing. Oh, I forgot about the
I just think
discourse
that's
on
wrong
that.
to treat
No,
people
not
that
here.
way. But this is where, in going through this, and I need to take some time because, look, I've always tried to be a happy warrior, and I want to go back to that. I haven't been happy for a while.
Segment? Yeah, you're very right. We can go ahead and skip to the response. But yeah, no, that's the thing. I think, what was it? What's his name? The Anderson Cooper, the guy on CNN. If I remember correctly, I mean, we can learn together, so I'm not doing any lefty disinfo here, but I believe he makes, what, $1 million a year? Let's learn. Oh, 12 million. So this person is making $500,000 more. So Crowder is making $500,000 more than Anderson Cooper on like a mainstream media outlet here, like per year. Absolutely absurd. You won't see oil tycoons on the left? No, exactly. The things that the left push, there's no monetary benefit, you know? Labor rights, the democratic ownership of labor, equity, you know, true equity in gender, in attraction, in everything, you know, in race. You know, these are not things that are profitable within a capitalist mindset, I should say. Anyway, so there was a response video by the Daily Wire. You cannot tell me what happened, okay? What happened to men? Look at this dude. Are you kidding me? This dude looks like every fucking Silicon Valley tech bro. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear any of his fucking employees, any of his little dance monkeys that are peddling the what happened to Western men, you know? I don't want to hear it anymore, okay? This is the most liberal looking fucking office, all right? Look, these guys back here got the standing desks and everything. Oh, boy.
All right. Our friend Steven Crowder has launched a new initiative called Stop Big Con. And in the video announcing the launch of the project,
about to announce
he
the Hunger
talked
Games.
about
True.
leaving the
Very
blaze
true.
and all the different offers that he fielded
Let
from
them
other
fight.
conservative organizations.
Let them fight.
And what he thought were the real problems with those offers. And that's led a lot of people to speculate about whether or not the Daily Wire is one of
Did he
the
put
people
that?
who made
Did he put that book there on purpose? Stephen and Lawhead? I don't know what that. Yeah. I hate standing desks. Yeah, they fucking suck. Holy shit. I just want to be comfy and do nothing.
made him an offer in particular? Are we the ones
But
who
look,
made the offer
he's got the...
that he put up on the screen? And
I'm sorry. Okay, last thing. Yeah, let's just analyze real quick. All right, they got the same little trees. Okay, in every tech bro office, they got the you can go and sit in another chair with a little flower. You get your little coffee. You know, everyone in here looks like a fucking tech bro, and I guarantee you, again, this is all a grift. None of these. I guarantee, hey, maybe these people are centrists, you know, and they just want a little fucking money. Okay, and this probably pays well. Look at this dude and tell me he doesn't fucking reek of tech bro. All right.
the people who made him an offer in particular, are we the ones who made the offer that he put up on the screen and talked about at length? And the answer is yes, that offer did come from the Daily Wire. I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm not ashamed of that fact. In fact, I think it's a very good offer. But I think there's a lot of
I'm going to speed this up. This
misconceptions
is a very
about
long video.
the nature of the offer, the nature of the points. I think Stephen misunderstood a lot of the points. And so the way we do here at the Daily Wire, we're just going to be incredibly transparent. You know that we like to have our members be a part of the journey. We live stream all of our company town halls, for example. We just find that sunlight sometimes is the best disinfectant. And so with that in mind, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we came to be in conversations with Stephen, how those conversations ended, and walk you just line by line through what the actual document that we sent over to him, a non-binding term sheet, what it actually said and why. First thing you should know is that I'm really miserable to be making this video. Stephen's been my friend for 10 years. I think he's maybe the most talented person working in the conservative media.
Also, the fact that, okay, this guy is talking up Steven Crowder, okay? He is the bar for comedy right now. Crowder is the fucking bar for comedy in right-wing sphere. I would be able to make so much fucking money. Are you kidding me? Crowder is the high bar that people have to fucking pass. Oh.
Media space. He's one of the top entertainers in the country, politics notwithstanding, a great comic voice. And I find it really tragic that we're having this kind of a conversation. But it's also very important, I think, that we talk about it, in particular because I know a lot of people who are fans of the Daily Wire were really offended by the things that Stephen said in the video, and they're concerned that maybe we're doing the wrong thing. And I think that by the time we finish this video, you'll understand what we were thinking with our term sheet and how we operate as a business a little bit better. I've wanted to be in business with Stephen since the day that I met him. Ben and I tried to do some even movie deals with Stephen before there was CRTV and before there was a Daily Wire. For that entire time, we've talked at length at various times about getting together and doing things. Of course, for most of that time, he's been under contract, first at CRTV and then at The Blaze. So we weren't able to. And from time to time during the years, we would get together and daydream a little bit about would there be a future for us to work together at the other end of that deal. We got word that Stephen was finishing up his time at The Blaze and was interested in having a conversation with us. And so we reached out to his agent and we said, listen, we'd love to have a conversation. It's not every day that a monster talent like Stephen comes on the market. Probably would be bad businessmen if we didn't engage in a conversation with him. We weren't sure at that time if there was a deal to be had. I mean, for one thing, we're friends with Glenn, we're friends with Todd. Stephen's an expensive talent. I mean, he's been in business a long time. He has an enormous fan base. It would take a lot of doing to get him over to the Daily Wire. This at the same time that we're investing very heavily in kids' entertainment content and making real television content, streaming scripted fiction like the Pendragon Cycle and Atlas Shrugged and other projects that we've taken on. Would we have the resources? We weren't sure. But again, you have to have the conversation, and we were happy to have it. So we reach out to the agent and we say that. We'd like to have a conversation with Stephen, kind of get into the details of what's he looking for? What's he looking for financially? What's he looking for in terms of structure? What would make his life better? What would make him happy? He's got this opportunity now to have a next chapter. What's he want that next chapter to be? And Stephen's agent candidly just wasn't interested in any aspect of that conversation. He only wanted to know about the money. He said, we're not going to have a conversation. We're not going to have some abstract talk. We're going to send us an offer. Tell us how much money you're willing to pay. And he gave us an indication of what the minimum number would have to be in order to even have a discussion with Stephen.
Yes. Okay. So 50 million over 4 years. That was the baseline of talks. Okay. That was I think they mentioned it in the contract. This is the starting negotiation. What the minimum amount was 50 million over 4 years. 12.5 million a year. I believe he's going to go into more details about the contract, but this includes 4 weeks off. This includes not working Fridays. Literally, just do what you normally do. Maybe be a little less racist so we don't get fucked over, okay? And you can just rake it in. And he couldn't do that.
It's a big number. So we talked about it internally, and we decided, we should do that. We should send over an opening offer, a non-binding term sheet that takes a stab at what we think that minimum number is going to be.
I'm
to
not
get the conversation started.
They're
so
both
we can sit down with Stephen so we can see if there's a deal that'd be good for him and good for us. And that's what we did. We put together the term sheet, we sent it over, and we asked if we could get on the phone and have a conversation with Stephen. I'm going to walk you through that document, what it says, what it doesn't say, some of how Stephen represented it. I'm sure he,
if I remember correctly,
feels like he was being accurate.
I believe that the Daily Wire makes annually, I think they said $100 million a year, which doesn't really add up. I don't know if I would personally pay an employee if I was making, from a capitalist mindset. Don't know if I would be paying one employee $12.5 million a year. Absolutely absurd. Something's not adding up for sure.
Some of the things that he said are simply not true based on the text. And Stephen's a very passionate guy. I think that he's doing his level best to stand against what he sees as an injustice, but there is no injustice in this document, as I think you'll see. And then I'll tell you what happened right after we sent the document when I finally did get on the phone with Stephen. So first, here's the document, the non-binding confidential term sheet. I was going to walk you through it. Full transparency. This non-binding term sheet sets forth the basic deal points of a proposed content production and distribution agreement between the Daily Wire LLC, Texas Limited Liability Company, and Stephen Crowder via his loan out, so that if and when the parties elect to move forward with a long-form agreement, they can move quickly in preparing a definitive and binding agreement. That's just legalese. That means this is just a conversation starter, and we're obviously going to have a negotiation if we move forward, and a lot of these points are going to get beat up.
Yeah, okay.
And for those of you who've never been through a contract
$50 million starting
negotiation, well, that's how it works. When you send someone an offer, you don't send them everything that you're willing to say yes to, because there is going to be a negotiation, because agents and lawyers are going to get involved, because you can't read their mind, and you don't know everything that will be important to them and everything that they'll want. You don't know even some of their sort of non-negotiable points, and so you send over a loose offer, and then they're going to beat it up a little bit. They're going to say, well, this should be higher and this should be lower. And you're going to come back and say, no, we're going to stand firm here, but we're willing to compromise there. And over time, you either get to a deal or you don't get to a deal. But that's how a good faith negotiation always works. 100% of every interaction I've ever had with any talent, that's the process.
He's not wrong.
And so here we go. Here was our offer. A 4-year initial term with 2-year renewal at DW's sole discretion. That just means Stephen's going to work for DW for 4 years. And if it's going really well,
so
DW can retain him for an additional 2 years. 2, the fee. Remember, this is the minimum number that we thought would get the conversation started with Stephen. $50 million for the initial term, plus 20.
Here we go. $50 million for the initial term over 4 years with 2-year renewal. Damn. So every 2 years, that's going up $25 million? That's absurd. Holy shit. Within 2 years, 4 years, at the end of his contract, he could have doubled the amount that he was making. Oh my God. Infinite money glitch, Crowder over here, and just fucking skimped on this. And this was starting negotiations. You have to understand, like, if any leftist creator, true leftist creator, or maybe let's say Sockdim or whatever, was approached with this, people who are, smaller creators especially, not that I would know what that's like, who are hard up, like, would you fucking pass on this? Are you kidding me? You have to understand, like, this is why there are so many right-wing content creators that are so prominent, because they have the fucking money for it. They have the money behind them to be so prominent.
$5 million for the...
You know what happens if leftist channels don't work out? They get another job. That's it. I mean, hey, spoiler alert. I need you to know this isn't my only source of income. So if you want to, you can totally donate to me. I got links, okay? But of course this is like if content creation doesn't work out for most smaller content creators, that's it. If Crowder's show goes by the wayside under a contract like this, he still makes money. It doesn't matter how fucking popular he is. He still makes money. Between his mug club, all the charities that he does. Let's look at like someone like Andy No, who does all the charities for Kyle Rittenhouse, or charities for Kyle Rittenhouse, or charities for some blue hair with pronouns threw a milkshake at me and now I'm in the hospital with a concussion and a skull fracture. It's an infinite fucking money glitch. At this point, you're hoping someone goes bankrupt out of this. They won't. I wish they won't.
Renewal term, if extended, paid in monthly installments. Like I say, a pretty big number, but we thought for a talent like Stephen, this is probably the minimum number that's going to get us in the door so that we can sit down and talk to him. 3,
Very
production
hopeful
costs.
Thinking.
This is important. We've never made a deal quite like the offer that we put in front of Stephen, because Stephen, very independent guy. I mean, all of our talent have very independent voices. Obviously, we can't tell them what to say. Candace says what she wants, and Jordan Peterson says what he wants, Ben, Michael. But Stephen has always built in this protection for himself that he wants to actually produce his content. He doesn't want, most of our guys that come to the studio and we turn on the cameras, we point the cameras, we point the lights. Stephen likes to do that with his own team.
Yo, fucking Clandis Owens, okay? Here's where the bar at is Clandis Owens can run with fucking Ye, okay? Sorry, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, now who goes by Ye, turned Nazi. Candace can run with him, and she's fine. She's not getting any monetary dings, I would imagine, because she was doing that for what, a solid month or two? Are you kidding me? That's where the bar is at. And Crowder says, nope, I can't do it. The kind of shit that I want to say on my show, you can't make me. I'm just going to be losing money left and right.
To just make doubly sure that no one's interfering with his content, not that we would. And so we anticipated that, and we said, Crowder will bear the burden of production, including all costs associated therewith, on all the content contemplated herein, except on the quarterly and annual content contemplated below. We'll get to that part a little bit later. It's kind of a novel concept. The quality of the production will be as good as or better than is currently existing content. This just, again, Steven's going to produce his own content. It has to be as good as the stuff that Steven's audience has come to expect from him, and that'll come out of the $50 million. So it's not like all of that $50 million goes right in Steven's pocket. He's going to use some of it to pay for.
Yeah, that's part of it. Hey, you want to produce your own shit? You fucking pay for it, sure.
Producers and studio space and camera
that
equipment and operators
that
and
sucks
lights.
As a worker.
Just like we're going to use some of the money that we make to pay for the infrastructure and the technology and the marketing and the
So again, the money that you rake in from Crowder, that is kind of shitty, you know? However, that's part of contract negotiation.
And all the other parts that go into making
Homie has an issue with
revenue
capitalism.
Collection that says we'll have the exclusive right to realize revenue in connection with all of his content and brand. We're paying you this guaranteed significant amount of money, $50 million.
It's almost like he wants the
and for that,
ownership.
one of the things we're buying is the content, but we're also buying the right to monetize the content so that we can have a chance of making some money and not just spending money. What is the content? First, we broke this into daily, monthly, quarterly, and annual content. The daily content is going to be very obvious to you. He'll deliver a 1.5 hour Louder with Crowder audio-video show of a quality and kind consistent with the shows that he's currently producing 4 days a week. That's 192 original episodes a year if you factor in 4 weeks of vacation, including all ad reads and promotions as requested by us. So he's going to continue to produce his show, his Louder with Crowder show, 4 days a week, 192 times a year. And that'll include us being able to put ads in it and promotions in it. They'll be filmed in studio daily, Monday through Thursday. At least 1 hour of them will be outside the paywall. That's
4-day work week, 1.5 hours of work, $12.5 million a year, 4 weeks off. Are you fucking kidding me? Literally just to sit around with your buddies, say the N-word, okay? Do some like minstrel show shit, and they all awkwardly laugh for an hour and a half. That's what, and you make that. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd.
Much how Steven already operates. That's the part that goes out on podcasting. It's the part that goes out on YouTube. It's the part that goes out on Rumble. And at least 30 minutes inside the DW Plus paywall. So in the same way that right now he has his Piss Off YouTube segment that has historically been at
now
Blaze,
I understand.
well, he would still do that same kind of concept.
Now that
30 minutes
makes
of the
sense.
show would now be behind our paywall. Crowder can bank or pre-record a limited number of episodes upon our approval and reasonable discretion. Days without new original episodes will be scheduled in advance, subject to our reasonable approval. What's this about? Well, a guy like Crowder, in addition to his 4 weeks of vacation, there's just also going to be times where he, for whatever reason, maybe he's got a speech, maybe he's got a stand-up comedy gig somewhere around the country. If he were to come to us and say, hey, I can't really shoot a show on Thursday because I'm going to be doing the stand-up gig.
Yo, my $50 million 4-year contract, my 4-day work week, 2 hours max a day, assuming you don't just want to fucking, as this person said, bankroll, episodes. Let's say you just have 1 day, you just run for like 7 hours and you're like, all right, that's my work, I'm done. Everything I just described is slave labor. Okay, that is labor exploitation. That is a slave contract in Crowder's word. But you working your service industry job, you barista working at this cafe, bartender, server, contract worker, working these jobs, undignified jobs for undignified amount of hours for an undignified pay of $7.25 an hour at least. Maybe if you're lucky and you live in a state like Oregon or something, you'll get up to like 14 if you're fucking lucky. Working 50 to 60 hours a week, take it on the chin, champ, all right? You're lazy if you want any more. Hey, if you want a shift meal, you're lazy, okay? No one wants to work anymore.
That's fine. Let's shoot 2 episodes on Tuesday and we'll roll one of them out on Thursday. It's just giving us all the maximum flexibility to still
like
make the episodes.
Often
but for Steven to be able to live the other important parts of his life. 192 episodes.
Where you get little jabs.
Obviously, there are 260 work days in a year. Most Americans work 260 days a year minus 10. That's 2 weeks of vacation. So they work about 250 work days a year. And we're telling Steven, you've got to produce 192. So already, even to say 4 weeks of vacation, that is probably above average. But it doesn't really capture the reality of this, which is there are going to be, 60 days basically of the year where Fridays, we call them, where Stephen basically doesn't have to produce a show. And you may say, well, that's still a lot. I know Stephen says that's more than even, network TV would ask for. Yeah, these are points that can be negotiated. I still think most people feel like, if you're only working 4 days a week and you get 4 weeks off every year and you can pre-schedule even additional time to be traveling by banking episodes, you would at least say, you may think, well, he needed to negotiate that and get it down to 170 or something. Sure, I thought he would, but it's certainly not unfair to expect someone that is making $50 million over the next 4 years to, work 192 days a year. That brings us to monthly content. What is monthly content? Well, at Daily Wire, our members are entitled to an all access.
I don't know how much more I can take.
Once a month.
I don't know how much more of this I can take with just being without just being angry. Was there the? I think I saw online that there was like the summary. Maybe someone in chat can help me find this. Someone had like a little 5-minute segment. Man, it would be so helpful if I could type. Is it Will Somner? Where is it? Oh, I'm a professional. With content like this, why am I not being offered $50 million over 4 years? Okay, I guess we'll keep watching for a little bit.
Them sort of one-on-one, ask them questions. So we're saying once a month you would have to do a 90-minute all access and any promotions and ad reads that would go in that. Right now there are no ad reads in all access, but again, you're giving yourself, it's a 4, possibly 6-year deal. You're giving yourself a little latitude for things to change. Quarterly content. We asked that Stephen would produce one major promo video and photo shoot.
I can't believe I'm sitting here willfully listening to illegal mumbo jumbo.
We'd want him to
over a contract that isn't mine.
A very well-produced promo, that gives us marketing assets to be able to go out and sell subscriptions, sell Mug Club, sell any merch that we were doing with him, sell the entire idea of DW Plus, and one backstage episode a quarter or other major live event and VIP experience. So, and annual content. This was a new concept. We said that Stephen would do one feature-length entertainment special. That's like a stand-up comedy special. And that Stephen would do one.
This was the annual content that they were dinging him $1 million for. Okay. I was about to say, there's no way if Homie just takes a year off, they're only going to take $1 million out.
Feature-length political special. And that's like a documentary like What is a Woman? This is something we're doing with all of our talent now. You saw it first with What is a Woman?
Ah, yes, our talent, our What is a Woman talent. Oh, God.
With Matt. Then in addition to his daily show, he brought us this amazing documentary.
To just say gross transphobic
You saw it with Candace with Greatest Lie Ever Sold. And we've got a lot more projects like that in the work with our other talent now. It's really become an important part of our business model.
Literally just 2 hours of being gross. That's it. Hey, we'll slide you a couple mil, all right?
Here's the key, though. He doesn't have to pay for that.
If you make the helicopter joke. Can you make the helicopter joke for 2 hours?
We would pay an additional amount every year for that. In the case of the political documentary, we'd give another $1.25 million of production costs. In the case of the entertainment, depends on how it breaks down, but we'd give between $500,000 and $2.5 million more dollars. So, you're talking about just this is more than 8 figures over the 4 years, in addition to the 50 over the next 4 years.
I wish there were
and then additional Crowder content. What is this? I don't know, but presumably over the next 4 to 6 years, we might come up with other things that either he wants to do or we want to do. So we built a sort of catch-all bucket. If we and Crowder mutually agree to create additional content not currently contemplated, then we pay him $15,000 a day for that shoot. And again, a lot of that would be days he was already shooting, so that's just a little extra money in his pocket if we do something.
Yeah, extra. Just a cool little $15,000. Are you fucking kidding me? Hey, for most people watching this, you have to understand, that is a majority of half of a year's worth of work for people. A cool $15,000 for any little extra content.
Million, plus we knew he was going to negotiate, so you're probably talking about 70, 75 million, plus infrastructure, plus marketing.
Yeah,
at least $100 million.
We were willing to go higher.
Over the next 4 years. Well, how are we going to pay for all of that? Well, one way is we're going to sell ads on all this content. And this is how we handle all of our shows. He has to, item B, Crowder will read the ad copy and promos as requested by us, though he'll have certain rights to disapprove of some ad sponsors for various reasons, right? He can disapprove of like 10% of the ones we bring him. He can disapprove if he owns equity in a direct competitor of one of the advertisers that we bring him. But point D, if he doesn't read the requested ads within that framework, then the content that he made won't be counted as delivered under the contract because it's all fine and good that he made it.
Okay, but you have no integrity under capitalism. With these contracts?
With them. A little bit different with the content that we're paying, tens of millions of dollars for.
Who in here, okay? Who in here wouldn't say, hey, go buy my new cum towel, okay? These cum towels are great. I use these cum towels all the time. You should get these cum towels too, okay? They don't dry up. They don't get all fucking crusty. They don't smell bad, okay? Go get you a cum towel at cumtowel.com. Use discount code CummieBravo for a 15% discount on a cum towel. And then I get 50 million from that. Are you kidding me? I would absolutely fucking do that, unquestionably.
During the course of that content would always stay with us. We would have a sort of perpetual right to monetize that content even after Crowder would leave. And if Matt Walsh were to leave the Daily Wire, presumably at some
Kidding, I
date in
would
the
never
future,
sell myself
subscriptions around his content.
me
One of the ways that we
75.
can make money is be responsible for his merch. Now, that would mean that we have to pay for the creation of the merch, pay for the marketing of the merch, but we would own the upside. Email list. DW will maintain the exclusive right to manage, grow, and monetize all
Okay.
Crowder email.
Okay. I think maybe we're trying to get out of the contract here. Where does it end? Let's go here.
Over. I said, well, I'd like to talk through why we do it. And he listened for a little bit, and he said, well, you're just wrong. You don't know anything about business. My business model is the right business model. And of course, that's unfair because Stephen hasn't run this part of a business before. Stephen likes to say, I'm only on the air because of Mug Club. But Stephen couldn't tell me how many subscribers he had. I said, how many subscribers
is this
do you have
what
at
I'm
the place?
looking
He said,
for?
I don't know. They don't tell me.
Is this
And
what I'm
I'm sure that's
looking
true.
for? I think this is the bit. This is the bit where he talks about how many fucking millionaires and billionaires, billionaires, I should say, not millionaires, that Crowder is bent over for.
He said, but I'm confident. I guarantee you it'll be $350,000 on day one with no marketing. I hope that's true. But I can't take that risk. I've never seen that to be true. I've never launched any talent with $0 spent on marketing and picked up a third of the total subscribers that the entire Daily Wire has built in 8 years in business. I hope Stephen's right. I hope he makes unseemly amounts of money and is able to continue being an important voice in the movement for years and years to come.
The movement
that's
of
not a
being
risk that I could
racist.
take.
Haha.
Stephen implied that
What
he
a good movement.
not only didn't like this $12.5 million a year number that I offered him, but that he thought it should be closer to $30 million a year.
The movement of white people being able to say the hard R. Okay, yeah. Good fucking movement. All right. Hey, I hope solidarity, right? I hope you were able to move forward with that.
$20 million over 4 years just for Stephen's show. I would still
Says
have to
Captain
spend
Hair Plugs
those tens
over
of millions
here.
of dollars every year that I told you about on things like marketing and infrastructure and technology to support the show, the part that Stephen's never done. As soon as he said that, I knew we'll never get to a deal. I can't guarantee $30 million a year. I didn't know how I was going to pay for 50. I thought, not that he isn't worth it, but that's a big risk. $120 million is an incalculable risk for a company our size. And again, I'm not saying Stephen isn't worth it. I hope he is. I hope he builds his own business. He'll make a ton of mistakes. He'll find out that he's wrong about a lot of how the business world works. He'll learn and he'll grow because he's a smart, talented guy. And I hope he gets to a place where he's
Is it in
proving
the
me wrong
comments?
and he's making
Is
all
it
that
in the
money.
comments?
But that
Is
just
there a
was not a deal that
timestamp in
the
the
Daily Wire
comments?
could possibly
Timestamps. Here we go.
make. And we'd have to
Jesus.
pay it even if he lost
Ugh.
all the revenue,
Sorry, I need a book
or even if he
report
lost
for these.
enormous chunks of the revenue. It was just an impossible situation. And so Stephen said, we're going to throw this deal out. I'm not even going to mark it up. I'm not going to negotiate it. Start over. Send me a new deal. And because of his talent and because of our friendship, I thought about it for a minute. Talked to my partners about it for a few minutes. And I just realized what I already knew in my heart, which is Stephen's not a team player. That's not a knock. He has an enormous individual talent. But he's not going to be happy unless he's out on his own. And so I called him up. I said, hey, we're not going to send follow-up offer. I want you to hear it directly from me, not from lawyers and agents. I said, but the kind of deal you're looking for is not the kind of deal that we can make. He was super gracious, appreciative, kind. We agreed to continue
I'm
forward
going
as
to
we
go back
always
to
had as
this.
friends.
Where are we at right now? 47.25. We're going to go back to this. I want to make sure. Is it this?
I am not an enforcer for big tech.
I think it might
I am
be
trying
this.
to maximize the reach and revenue of my hosts and my company because no company spends more money than the Daily Wire directly marketing its talent. We spend tens of millions of dollars every year.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, every lefty in chat right now that gets these fucking ads before their YouTube videos, okay? Yeah, it's because of this shit. I mean, thanks for saying it, you know? Like, we already knew it, but...
Our talent grow, marketing our talent with real dollars. We spend tens of millions more building technology, tens of millions more on staff and support, building expertise, so that we can, over time, build a completely parallel system, a completely parallel
I'm also
economy.
very
That is
focused on
not
this person over here
a
using the
day's work.
standing desk.
That is
obviously
a generation's
hating it.
work. That is the work that we are engaged in. That's why we've had so many successes. You have been with us for so many of those successes.
much money
and
did he spend
I feel
on
like
hair
Crowder
plugs?
really threw us under the bus and cheapened that
I wonder.
and discredited all of it in saying that we're enforcers for the very people who hate us, the very people who shadow ban us and demonetize us and give content strikes against us all the time. When all we're saying is, no, let's be smart about how we fight them. The rest of this document, you're welcome to read it. It's just legalese. And what it says is, if we decide to move
Okay,
forward,
so it
this
wasn't that. Where were we at? 47?
he was super gracious, appreciative, kind. We agreed to continue forward as we always had as friends. We do favors for each
47.25,
other. I
there
told
we
him,
go.
if you stay at the Blaze or if you go off on your own, go to Rumble, go wherever, we're going to continue to write stories about you and promote you and have you on. Like, you know, we want you to be as successful as humanly possible, and we want to contribute to that. And we went our separate ways. And months went by. October goes by, November goes by, December goes by. And then a week ago, in January, Stephen called me. And he said, hey, man, I can't unsee this contract that you sent me. I said, well, it's not a contract. It's a non-binding term sheet. It's a conversation starter, but okay. And he told me his perspective on it, that we were not paying him what he's worth, that we don't understand his great business mind, and that it's going to go exactly the way.
Does Crowder understand that this was the beginning of, like, don't get me wrong, like, it feels disgusting right now. I'm not picking sides in this. Crowder's just a fucking idiot. He does know that this was the beginning of a negotiation, right? Like, none of this was binding at the moment that he got it. Like, this is like, hey, like, it's like a little love letter. Like, will you go to prom with me? Checkbox Y, checkbox N. It's not like you get that and you were locked in to going on a date or not going on a date with this person, right? Crowder's being a fucking idiot, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I hate like kind of taking the sides of one ghoul or the other here, but I'm not. Let that be clear. They're both terrible, but Crowder is terrible and a fucking idiot.
The way that he thinks, we're all going to be proven wrong. And I said, again, I hope that's true, Stephen, but that's not a risk I can take. And then he said, and you're just an enforcer for big tech. You're hurting young talent. I said, well, Stephen, first of all, no two talent in our company.
You're hurting them by only
every deal is different.
By only
There's
paying them
circumstances.
a
This is the kind of deal
paltry
you make
$50 million
to protect a 9-figure investment. You can't pay 9 figures in expenses, even if the revenue dries up. That isn't.
Oh yeah, in that initial video too, Crowder was like very much not talking about the money side of things, very intentionally so. If his viewers heard that he like passed up on, like, how relatable, you know, would Crowder be at that moment? Not at all. Like, to the people who are watching him, spending the last of their, what is it, $5 to $15 on his fucking cum mug club, that they have, these like poor people in the fucking boonies or whatever, or like people that live on like these like outskirt towns or whatever, who are spending the last of their paltry paychecks on his fucking mug club, hearing that he's turning up $50 million over 4 years because it's not enough money. Like, of course, he would be fucking bleeding subscribers at that point.
Possible. It's not prudent, but it also isn't possible. And he wouldn't let it go.
Ooh, did you just hit me with some fucking tea? Did you just hit me with some fucking tea? Oh my God. Oh yes, music. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Holy shit. Oh my God, you're a saint. Yeah, let's go through these. Everyone, go give a big ol' thank yous to OAS Music in chat. Are you fucking kidding me? Why did I not even think to look at this? Oh boy. We got Daily Wire reviews. What it's like to be an employee there. 5 years in, still my dream job. Okay, this one's 5 stars. Pros. As both an employee of the Daily Wire and a fan/consumer of its content, I can confirm that working at DW is pretty much everything you expect. One of the most challenging places you'll ever work, and you'll find yourself frustrated if you aren't able to stay flexible and move. Okay, where are the bad ones? Okay, general, we got culture and values at 2.9 more stars than I would have expected. Diversity and inclusion. Hey, don't undersell yourself, okay? This is great content. Thank you. Diversity and inclusion. Something tells me this is a bold-faced lie. Work-life balance, 1.8 stars. Senior management, 2.5. Compensation and benefits, career opportunities. Okay. There we go. Okay, not great. 2 stars. Pros. Daily Wire is focused on diversity and inclusion. They let white people say slurs. You don't get that outside of the office, I'll tell you what. Yeah, they're really, really paying their dues here. High level Hey, they let a woman in the office. They let one woman on the 2nd floor. Are you kidding me? Hey, they're really doing a lot here. High-level leadership does not care about low-level employees. They make this extremely clear. Yeah, hey, well, welcome to capitalism. You signed up for it, buddy. But you're telling me that the right-wing conglomerate doesn't care about its employees? No way. You have been warned. Yeah, spill the tea. What's the tea? Says, come on, I don't want to do that. Bros, you get to work with some really smart people. I don't know about that one. Plus, having the DW on your resume is like golden conservative circle to make a real difference in the culture wars. Wow. Okay. Cons: toxic work environment. Notice how all the reviews on the site were negative up until recently, when there was a big influx of positive reviews, gushing with praise for DW. LMAO, they are so transparent. The constant negative reviews were really hurting recruitment. So they astroturfed a bunch of what? No way. You're telling me the right-wing media conglomerate is doing astroturfing? No way. Gushing with praise for DW. Negative reviews, hurting recruitment. Firings and resignations have reached crisis level. Everyone has one eye on the door. When was this? Less than a year ago? Incredible. I would never want anyone I care about to work here. Glad I get to say the N-word. Bad that there's not enough snacks in the office. Complimentary food and bonus off days. Constant revolving door of employees. Look at this office. Look at this office, dude. I'm telling you, it's every liberal fucking office, down to the snacks in the fucking pantry. Work here only if you're cool with being their slave. Oh, yes. Tell me more about slave work. Wow, this one's pretty long. Okay. Pros. Most of the people outside of leadership staff are amazing. I've had lifelong friendships in working at DW and love my team. I guess it's a pro that you get to have lunch every day, but they only do that so you'll not be interrupted by leaving the office for food. They want you to keep working. Yeah, well, hey, buddy, sounds like your problems with capitalism. Cons, you are a number, not a name. Yep. Again, your problems with capitalism, homie. Yeah, you picked the wrong company to work with. The people telling you to go back to work at the beginning, middle, and still middle of a pandemic are not a very pro-worker? Huh, astounding. DW does not believe in work-life balance, and you will hear about this from HR. Your supervisors and the CEOs refusing to work on your PTO will most likely get you terminated even if it's not an emergency. The longer you stay, the more likely it is you will be replaced by someone with fresh ideas. CEO told everyone at staff meeting that we won't be getting promoted anytime soon because he wanted to hire new employees above us. Yeah. I mean, it sucks. Again, your problem is with capitalism. Why are you working at Daily Wire? Over the shoulder, micromanaging. Why is it doing that every time I highlight something? Cons, they want you to feel like you can be fired at any moment. Damn. Well, unsurprising. It's funny. I'm sure it's a terrible company to fucking work for. Stop. Okay, well, we're done with this. I'm not logging in. You can't make me. You can't make me. No spoilers.
I was very angry. And I got very flustered. I didn't expect him to be calling and laying into me the way he was. I'd never experienced it before. I didn't make the best defense of the deal that I probably could have because I was
my dog is laying right
so caught
under
off
my
guard.
feet.
I mean, I made a decent defense of the structure of it, but I was really taken aback. And then I told him, well, I'll take it under consideration, bud.
Okay, cool.
And we got off the phone.
Cool.
And then I wake up yesterday and he puts out this video laying into us the way that he did. And, you know, he redacted parts of the document. He didn't name us by name. And I'm sure on some level that was meant as a courtesy. But all it really did was create suspicion in our audience. I know a lot of you have been out there defending us, saying, well, this couldn't have possibly been the Daily Wire. And I don't want to be the guy who 3 weeks later, Stephen or someone else says that it was the Daily Wire and you feel betrayed. Like, why'd these guys leave me out to dry? I appreciate your impulse to defend us, but we don't need to be defended. This is a fair offer.
Yeah, no
it's an offer that's gone lower. Number of work days probably would have shrank. He would have done a little bit less content, and we would have inched our way like this, either to a deal or not to a deal. That's not how Stephen chose to operate. And now we find ourselves here where we're having this public things I've ever faced in
Where's the part where he talks about all the billionaires?
I do owe it to those of you who are out there defending us. I owe it to Daily Wire Plus subscribers to say, yeah, it was our offer. I'm proud of the offer. I think it was innovative. I think it was meant hard as anyone. You might say, well, you guys are wrong sometime. Ben was wrong about this one time, and you were wrong about that. Great, respectable offer that we made to a good kind of as a cudgel. And so just wanted to be transparent with you about it. That means that you're not always going to agree with everything, that everyone's up against anybody. And I'll put our audience, it's unfortunate that Stephen said otherwise. So what should you do? Should you run over and, in fact, if you're not a subscriber to Mug Club, in the movement today. Wrong about this.
Okay.
You need to
Where
know
is it? Where is it? Where is it? Timestamps. Tell me.
Again, this is one of the points that Stephen really focused on. He says we're enforcers for big tech, that we're doing big tech's bidding, that we're punishing content creators if they run afoul of big tech. And first of all, that's just personally incredibly offensive. It's incredibly offensive to have your friend and ally in 10 years of fighting this fight alongside one another, coming up together, say that you're not sufficiently conservative, say that you're I think he said in the video that we're worse than the left, that we're
they're communists. Yo, you heard it here first.
Harm to the country.
You heard it here
that we're not
first.
sufficiently at odds with big tech. You know, obviously that's ridiculous. You'll see that it's ridiculous as we go through this and I explain it. It's absurd on its face. We get content strikes all the time. We get demonetized all the time. We get shadow banned all the time, just like all conservatives do. We're investing tens of millions of dollars every year into technology to try to create alternatives. That's a long-term project. No one has built anything. Rumble is not a true competitor to YouTube yet. I hope that they become one. But right now, YouTube has many billions of people use YouTube, and many millions of people use Rumble. It's
Okay,
a
we might
long-term
move on
investment
from this.
to build these alternative and data.
Okay, generally, yes, this is contract negotiation. At some point in the video, he talks about how Crowder is being just like passed around from billionaire to billionaire, just getting like sloppy seconds. You know, these billionaires are getting just sloppy seconds left and right, and how that's Crowder's business model. Yeah, I mean, this should come as a shock to really nobody. What's this? Steven Crowder recorded a private conversation. Okay.
Walk away. What would it take for you to walk away from $50 million? Because it's
Every time, I swear to God, every time he does this shit with his voice, you know he's saying some duplicitous shit, okay? They're both wrong. They're both terrible fucking people, all right? But
true. That's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I'm doing. And so long as these contracts out there include enforcement of big tech, of punishing conservative creators on behalf of the people we claim to fight and the people who have long since demonetized us and can't stand me, and part of me doesn't blame them. As long as these contracts include that, not even for me, but the next person, I wouldn't take $1 billion. And certainly not if you understand in context,
let me see if I can
when
find
behind closed doors, I know, and these people know, and acknowledge exactly what's being done to the next generation of creators.
Bench talent, young talent, they don't get deals like this.
So they don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand.
that you then own.
Oh, I own parts of it. I don't own it. They can, when their contract's up, they can still go out and they'll still be famous. They can keep doing their shows, so go do a show somewhere else. They'll be in a far, far, far better place. You helped make them.
No, not long as this contract. This contract owns it in perpetuity even after the contract. You're paying a lease but getting ownership. That's what this contract reads.
On the content that we paid to produce, yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. What's the meme? What's the meme where Crowder was like, "Hey, Kaepernick, you're saying that your $1 million contract is slave labor, but that's a lot of money to a lot of people. How dare you call that slave labor or a slave contract?" Anyway, here's me with my 50 million, calling it a slave contract. Oh boy, goofy. This one's 15 minutes? Oh, God. This goes on forever. I wanted to look more into... What? Oh, he's doing the bit. He's doing the Home Alone bit.
They don't get deals that...
Look at him. Look at him. Look. He's got it. Look at his little smile. Oh, it's so cute. He's doing the bit.
They don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand. They can be wage slaves for a little bit.
Yeah, okay, buddy. We get it. All right. I had some other stuff pulled up about this. I don't know. I mean, like, that guy is wrong saying that it's wage slave shit for 50 million. I don't know. Hey, any of my 50 million wage slave frogs in chat right now?
Unrelatable.
Anyway, so other folks in the Daily Wire crew. Oh, did you link something that I missed? Did you get it? Are you doing my work for me? Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, you're just gonna be on stream, okay? I'm gonna have you in this chair. I'm gonna go fuck off. I'll be in chat, all right?
Also, here's another one. Compared the
Thank you.
NFL to slavery in his new Netflix special.
Absolutely.
We just have so much to cover because our first day back on YouTube here. He suggested that the NFL combine is... you know what? I can't even describe it to you. I could tell you that he compared it to slavery.
It's worse.
But it's not that he didn't say in some way, it's comparable to slavery in the sense that we're locked down in these contracts.
Hold on, I can make this better.
No, it's an episode of it's roots with a Naked Gun afro. That's what.
Well, yeah, and Frederick Douglass got a great deal from Reebok.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Emmett Till was an Adidas movie.
Okay. You get it. Okay, compared to his contract, Also, I mean, like, NFL players are treated pretty fucking bad. Like, I mean, what's the reduced lifespan on NFL players? 7 years earlier than MLB players. Interesting. Former pro football players had a higher overall death rate than baseball veterans and were felled by cardiovascular disease and neurodegenerative illnesses. I mean, that's the one I'm more privy to. A strikingly higher rate. Yeah. Wow. The life expectancy of NFL players is only 57 years. Holy shit. That's absurd. Okay. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for finding the clip. I really appreciate it. You're still full screen. Thanks. I'm still new, all right? I still got a single monitor. Work with me.
People are trying to pay for bacon and eggs right now at the grocery store, trying to buy a steak once
Anyway, okay, so every other pundit within the DW sphere is kind of lashing out.
a week. And you're over here crying because
Let
somebody
them
put
fight.
you at $120
Let
million.
them
And
fight.
it is crying. I don't like it. It was
Get
a
the
total
popcorn.
bitch move. There are plenty of things that happen across
Catty
all organizations
Candace.
in the conservative movement, $120 million. And it is crying. I don't like it. It was a total bitch move. There are plenty of things that happen across all organizations in the conservative movement where I will say that I empathize and with Steven Crowder and saying that sometimes you feel like a cynic, which is like, is everybody selling out? Are people doing this, people doing that? There are a lot of things that Daily Wire has done that I disagree with. There's a lot of things that Turning Point has done that I disagree with. There are things perhaps that PragerU has done that I disagree with. I have worked with all of these companies, right? But to do a total bitch move and go out to the public rather than trying to resolve these things in these slight differences
them
behind
fight.
the scenes, and to make it seem like
Let
you're the
them
hero
fight.
and you're the true one and you keep it authentic when something really nothing happened other than you didn't like an initial term sheet and all you had to do was tell them that and tell them what you didn't like and go back and forth with lawyers like everybody else. I think it's crappy. I think Steven is a little egocentric. He probably will do better on his own. I don't think he knows how to play on a team. And by the way, the last thing I'm going to say, because I'm going on Tim Pool's tonight, so I'm going to say it anyways later, is that I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Steven Crowder who also screwed over somebody he used to work with? Was it not Gay Jared because he had him tied up in a contract? Wasn't that Steven Crowder who did that? So is he supposed to be the moral high?
Call him out. Call him out. Look, I'm not rooting for any side here, okay? I'm rooting for my side here. I'm rooting for the side eating the fucking popcorn. All right? This is fucking beautiful. Let them go at each other's throat, okay? Let them fucking splinter off and be catty with each other, all right? This is incredible.
Bar, we're not supposed to call him out for that. Here's the thing. Steven, why don't you release Not Gay Jared from his NDA and allow him to talk about how he felt he was treated by you? Because I know that at the Blaze, everyone says that you're actually not that nice. You treat people poorly, but you bring in so much revenue that everybody just has to take it. So I don't like it. It stinks to high heaven. And I'm calling you out on that because I think it was crappy that you threw mud on me. Did it the first time via a tweet a long time ago. You're not doing it a second time. Total bitch move. Next.
Look, she's got the hand waves. Oh my god. This is beautiful. What did Ben Shabib say? Was there I wanted to find a clip, but I couldn't in my 5 minutes of trying to find a clip before I opened. Is there more about the not gay Jared part that I don't want to look up anything else? Whatever. I'm assuming he's a bad fucking person. Oh yeah, we need to finish the wage slave clip in a little bit. Far-right YouTuber Steven Crowder has accused conservative media outlets like the Daily Wire of conspiring with tech companies to censor conservative views. My conservative view, again, is just being gross and disgusting. Just literally doing blackface on air for millions of people. Crowder is called a slave contract. I really wish I could find that clip of, is his name really Boring? How unfortunate. Yeah, Jeremy Boring saying that he was passed around from billionaire to billionaire. Far-right media personalities criticized Crowder, including the Daily Wire co-founder Ben Shabibs, who said it was rather nasty to attack his friends over his misinterpretation of a document that offers you $50 million. Yeah. Matt fucking Walsh. Oh God, is Matt Walsh gonna make a decent point? Who hosts the show on the Daily Wire said the suggestion that the company's pundits are somehow muzzled or controlled is blatantly absurd, while Candace Owens said it was a total bitch move. Yeah, no shit. Yo, Matt Walsh is fucking unhinged online in general. Like, absolutely the most unhinged. Matt Walsh, of all people, is like, no, you can still, all right. Like, Matt Walsh has led to children's hospitals being bombed, all right? I don't think that the Daily Wire is going to censor you, all right? Let them fight. Make the popcorn. We'll finish this clip and then we'll be done with it. All right? Overall, just in general, this is absolutely just clownish behavior.
For you to walk away. $150 million, because it's true. That's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I'm doing. And so long as these contracts out there include enforcement of big tech, of punishing conservative creators on behalf of the people we claim to fight and the people who have long since demonetized us and can't stand me, and part of me doesn't blame them. As long as these contracts
time he
include
does
that,
that
not even
voice,
for me,
you know? I
but the
just
next
know.
person, I wouldn't take $1 billion. And certainly not if you understand in context, when behind closed doors, I know, and these people know, and acknowledge exactly what's being done to the next generation of creators.
What's being done? What? They all get
So
they all get fucking 50 million? Oh, and here's the
they don't
clip.
get deals that
They can be wage slaves for a little bit. Come over and
The
make a
next
salary,
wave,
grow
the
their brand.
poor wave of content
That you
creators
then
coming
own.
up get 50 mil.
Well, I own parts of it. I don't own it. They can, when their contract's up, they can still go out and they'll still be famous. They can keep doing their shows, so go do a show somewhere else. They'll be in a far, far, far better place. You helped make them.
No, not longer at this contract. This contract owns it in perpetuity even after the contract. You're paying a lease but getting ownership.
No, once the
That's what this
contract's up,
contract
that's
On the content that we paid to produce, yes.
yeah. That means that when the contract's fucking up, bucko, you know, you can go do your own shit. Oh my god. What have we learned from this? Go fucking subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's what we learned from this. No, we just learned that Steven Crowder is, I mean, they're both vile, you know. The people at Daily Wire are fucking vile. Steven Crowder is fucking vile. But Steven Crowder is also a fucking idiot, okay? I don't know why he would try and leak this contract if everything is against him right now. This makes him look so fucking unrelatable. Again, it's my, I guess, theory that he's trying to compete, you know, the Blaze and the Daily Wire, and, you know, the Blaze is trying to, like, outsource, you know? It's like a new pathway, right? But this is clown shit, okay? Let them tear each other up over it, though. And in the meantime, go subscribe to Commie Bravo on YouTube, where I will be streaming more often, as opposed to Twitch. But follow me on here anyway. I don't know. Do whatever. Clownish. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're so inclined, feel free to like and share the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. If you would like to join chat on stream, go pop on over to twitch.tv/CommieBravo. I hope to see you there.